Good morning. Well, are we impressed? Are you impressed by this market? I'm kind of impressed to see a market come down from the pattern that it did. Right here, this M top, which just sliced through this support area like it wasn't even there. It stopped in that gap fill, which honestly I thought would be temporary before another move to the downside. And this market just stops and turns like it didn't fall out of a 25-story building onto the concrete. It just shakes itself off and right back up again to take out the highs. That's impressive. I've seen impressive things, over the decades that I've been doing this, and I've probably seen something similar. I don't recall it, but as far as what's happening in the moment, I'm impressed. Now, where things have happened and what may happen at this point, just based on historical patterns, that's all we can go on. This is a rare type of a pattern where you can get a distribution pattern that craters as this one did, came all the way back. But anyway, just looking at it as we do any other. You had a bottoming tail bar. Straight down move creates a void, but the angle of retracement is straight down. And the majority of times you're going to come up. When I say majority, I'm talking probably 90% of the time, maybe more. You come down and retest this, maybe a lower low, and then you get going. But to turn on the dime and right back up, you don't see that too often. Just ignoring this. But it was news. It was fake news. I mean, I guess. So we have to just say, if we had any doubt about whether it was fake news, well, now we don't. So anyway, wide range bar moving up, not quite as wide, and momentum begins to slow. And then yesterday, it's like resistance. Let me show you. There's no resistance. Bam. Right up through it. So now we've got a wider range bar than what we had here and here. This was quite wide there starting it, and now it's taking it out. And one of the concepts that I teach is that after a greater than 100% retracement, odds are the prices are going to stall. How does it stall? Well, either sideways, it could pull back, it could be a 2-day stall and then a continuation. We shall see. Obviously, the market has been resilient, nothing that you don't already know. It had this little tiny pullback, and I did mention how the momentum was slowing down here. Right? The length of the move here, the length of the move here prior to a reversal, and it has negated this, and it's at new all-time highs. So nothing to stop it. We'll see if it continues to go next week after the holiday. Well, we'll see what today brings, but typically this pattern, as I explained, ends with an inside day, a quiet day, or a rest day. So right now we've got, this sideways consolidation going on, a little wide and whippy. And, we got minor support now. You see I've shifted the reference points. Our minor support is now right in this area. Major support is here. And because of the way prices moved up, there really isn't much support underneath this. But that's the, the strength of a move like that doesn't leave support areas. Rather, it continues to move up. It doesn't pull back. It goes sideways versus pulling back, as this has. And, if it does start to correct to the downside, well, we've got this little shelf here. We'll see, if that does anything. But realize that, I did mention this in one of the videos that, this came down as powerful as it was. It's the weakest part. So what you want to look for in the future with these kind of patterns, when they do work out, as they are signaling that they're going to, in this case it didn't work out, but typically it'll stay below this halfway mark and even lower here. And you'll get a choppy consolidation here. There may be an attempt to go up, but there's a topping tail, and then it goes right back down to the next support level. So at least something to keep in mind to watch for when you get these kind of big wide range bars or even up bars. That's what they're supposed to do. Real power, and that power is such that sellers continue to come in and it can't bounce very much, and then you get the rollover, and then you just go for the continuation pattern when it happens. Well, right now we've got a weekly uptrend where sign of stalling has happened there. Well, let's go to the NASDAQ. And, you got the wider range bar right there after taking out the high. Inside day so far. We'll see where it goes. And what did the Dow do? Dow poked its head up toward the top of the range there. Pretty much the same. Collapse right back up through it. Oil got creamed yesterday. And, up, worked its way up bullishly, went sideways at resistance and way back down. The oil stocks got crushed. Well, they've been getting crushed. They're just even lower now. At some point, they're going to be buyable. Bonds here continuing to make this trading range. And I pointed out this shakeout, this little head and shoulders there. And the question is, can it get through this area? So we'll find out soon enough if it can poke its head through there. And if it does, that should put some pressure on the broader markets. But let's see what happens there. And what else is going on here? Tesla getting interesting, and refusing to pull back toward the 50. It is kind of overall sloppy. It's been a strong stock. Maybe next week I'm going to want to keep an eye on that. Really liking PayPal here. The gap up. Not giving us a consolidation type of a pattern, but I'm keeping it on the watch list. Triple D. Doesn't look ready yet, but power move out of there. Waiting for it to consolidate maybe into the rising 20. Maybe the 20 catches up with it. And anybody, we did not make this an official call, but I did mention it in videos, and it was mentioned in the letter for those that wanted to keep an eye on it itself. And it was just a beautiful pullback and flattening out into the rising 50 MA with the 20 starting to curl up, and boom, right in there. So very nice. If you look at the 5-minute chart, it trades real thin, so that's why we didn't make it an official call. We had this one yesterday. It's acting well here pre-market. It was a nice pattern. One of those blasts and pullbacks, and that bottoming tail bar there says, hey, I'm ready to go here. Red bar ignored, bottoming tail bar, close at the high, and it was a buy above there, and did nicely yesterday. I think it can continue to push up here. I don't think that until it doesn't. It looks great. You might remember CRM. I mentioned this yesterday because of the wide range bar down. And one of the tips I gave you was that while this is a big, ugly, bearish bar, this isn't an uptrend. And you want to give the benefit of the doubt to the uptrend. And you have it in the weekly time frame as well. And I told you that it would shake off this big, ugly bar if buyers were still in control. And there it is up to new all-time highs again. Believe it is. Yeah. That's what stocks and markets do, where bulls are in firm control. Something gaps up like this, sellers come in, take some profits. So maybe somebody shorts it and comes in hard, and then, oh, okay, new day, right back off to the races. Facebook came back nicely. Bull market, came down there, and we'll see if that makes new all-time highs. The weeklies do say that it will. And I wanted to look at another one here. Nice move up in Best Buy. I love that store. Snapchat mentioned. It's really shaping up. It's coming up into this resistance area here, and may take a little bit longer to set up something that could be meaningful over the course of weeks, months, maybe multiple months. We always like to find the next Facebook type of stock, but this certainly might be able to be it. We'll see how it shapes up into this resistance area. It's on my list every day. Keep an eye on that. And oil related stocks just getting pounded down. SLB, wide range bar down. So what's the story with something like this? Well, it looks like it goes down to around $60 unless it can turn into some type of a shakeout, downside shakeout type of a pattern. So, something gets beaten down like this, it keeps going lower and lower. At some point, it will turn, and you just got to keep watching them. We've all been in those situations where, it just kind of wears you down to watch it like it's never going to happen. And then, weeks later you go back and look at it and, it's doing exactly what you thought, but you're not in it. So, make an interest list of what it is that you want to watch on a day-to-day basis. Set alerts, right? So something like this, maybe it can go a lot lower, but if it's going to be a shakeout, I just right-click and I just do this. And let the computer watch it. I got a lot of alerts and different things in places where they're not going to trigger too easy, but when they do trigger, I'm going to want to look at them. So, the last one I wanted to look at for you guys was the amazing transports coming back from the dead. It held at 200 and just ripped right back up, taking out that first lower high and breaking the back of this downtrend here, and now pushing up into the next resistance area. And airlines are just coming on here, and they certainly look like they can go higher. ALK, here this is a situation where you have other airlines that are doing well, and this one's lagging. It may bring up the rear. And so it's a concept. What is showing relative weakness and in a strong sector as money revolves through the sector, it usually then starts to go toward the laggard and starts to focus on that, and that one plays catch up. American Airlines, right, getting ready to break out. And what's JetBlue? JetBlue going up. So airlines and CSX. Big day yesterday. So it looks like we have airlines coming on, which is going to be great for the market if they can continue to do so. And, whereas, I've mentioned in the past multiple times that these internals I follow just been neutral. And certainly, while there's been times where the market looked like it's going to have a bigger correction, it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. And so now if everything comes into alignment, right, this breadth will become bearish here, and sentiment will come down to a bearish level. And I assure you that the top will be in place within a week, and we will have some aggressive, very high profitability shorting opportunities. Now, that being said, guys, have a great Friday. Have a great holiday weekend. Be safe. There's a lot of cuckoos out there on the holidays. I know, especially around where I am. So go slow. Be safe. Not too many drinks. If you're having them, stay in place until you're feeling a little more clear. That's it, everybody. All the best.